Hello everyone, this is the SFX, and today I'll show you how to do this Pirates of the Caribbean pirate look. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know how I made this hat piece, I pre-made this, I'll put a link in the description below so you can check that out. Otherwise this video would become way too long. So let's get started. So to start with, I'm taking the hairband and just put it on top of my hat. It has a cotton band in the back so it stays in place, and then just pull some of the hair out to hide the black band so it doesn't show up later. Once I got everything in place, I'm taking bobby pins to secure the placement of the headband so it doesn't move off. And then I'm starting to tease my hair to make it really weird looking. I'm pulling some of the hair back around the headband and secure it with bobby pins so the headpiece looks more blended in, and I didn't want to have that much hair hanging in front of my face as well. Some extra bobby pins to secure it. And then I'm taking a normal hairspray and just make sure everything stays in place there. Then I'm taking a foundation brush and green aqua paint to color some of my hair. I'm next taking Vaseline to secure my eyebrows because we're gonna cover at least parts of it in latex later, and I don't want to rip my eyebrows off, so do this very carefully. Then I'm taking Mastix glue. You can use any skin adhesive you want, and I guess latex will work as well. I'm just using a little bit to secure the front part of the headpiece on my forehead and a little bit on my temples. Next, I'm using liquid latex, put it into a little container, seashells, the same ones I used on the headpiece, cotton, and a regular makeup sponge. And then I'm using the same technique I used for the headband, so I'm stippling latex on, then put some cotton wool on top of it, and then latex again. And then I'm taking those seashells, dipping them in latex, just pressing them on top of the cotton. The cotton gives a good base so you can really set them in. And then I'm using a small craft brush. I would not suggest using makeup brushes for latex because you can throw them away later, so you use cheap ones, they're fine for this. And just secure the seashells with another layer of latex and some cotton. Once this is dry, it's very strong, so you can safely use this to wear for a convention or a Halloween party. They're not gonna move anywhere. And I'm doing the same on the nose. I'm just using the brush here because I didn't want to risk getting latex into my eye. Work very carefully around the eyes as always. And I'm taking very small seashells here because they need to fit on the backbone of my nose. And some more cotton. Then I'm continuing on my cheekbones and my temples where the headpiece meets the skin. So I want to blend this all in together so it looks like one piece later on. So make sure you touch the edges. And then again latex, cotton, seashells like we did before. Then I'm doing some single seashell spots, if you can call it like this. It's the same technique, just get it on there, and then I'm using a little strip of cotton around so it looks like it really popped out of the skin. And to secure the single seashells, I'm using small strips of tissue paper around to make sure they really don't move off. Rip off the excess and make sure you do it around every edge. I'm then doing the same for the chin. Little strips of tissue paper again. Then I'm taking a hairdryer and just blow dry the latex for about 5 minutes, so you make sure everything is dry before you continue with the next step. Next I'm taking a small stippling sponge and again liquid latex and just stipple it on there to give the skin without seashells a little rough structure, make it look irritated and weird. Blow drying it in between layers and get the second layer on there. Taking the hairdryer again. And meanwhile the latex begins to dry but is not fully dried. I'm taking the back of the grafting brush and just put little holes into the latex so it looks like you have that spots in your skin later on. And then on the other side I'm creating a little bit of a flappy skin around the chin. Same technique, and peeling some off on the nose. And then I'm taking a fixing powder to take off any shine from the latex. Then I'm taking a concealer, put a little bit on my lips to make it look more depth, and then around these seashells as well. And then I realized this concealer is pretty, well, it was a pretty cheap one, so it didn't really work good. So I'm switching to my normal light foundation and the sponge here. This worked way better, so I'm doing this for the bigger parts to cover all the flappy skin and holes we just created. Then I'm taking a brush, a fluffy one, and a variation of brown eyeshadows from my palette, and starting to shade around the eyes to make them look sunken in, create some eye rings underneath. I'm doing the same around the nose area. And I'm taking some black eyeshadow on the inner corners of my eyes and around the nose area to make it even more sunken in, to give it more depth. Then I'm taking a eyebrow brush and just fluff up my eyebrows a little bit so that they don't look too straight. And more shading around the mouth, using the brown eyeshadows again. And then I'm starting to contour my cheekbones a little bit to make them look sunken in as well. I'm using a dark brown eyeshadow here and the same fluffy brush. Then I'm taking a quite small brush and aqua-based colors and start to color the cotton and the seashells. I'm using the same colors that I used on the headpiece, just makeup ones here and not the acrylic paint, of course. I'm mixing in together green, yellow and brown tones and then filling all the spaces in, a little bit of green on the eyebrow there. And I think this step really blends the headpiece into the face pieces we created, so it looks like ones. And don't forget to color the seashells as well, so they don't look too bright and pop out. Do the same for the nose area and the single seashells you did as well. Make sure there's no white cotton peeking through. And I'm taking a small anchor brush and red and purple eyeshadows, just to give the skin a very irritated look around the seashells. Make it look like it's bruising a little bit. Don't worry if the colors look very bright at the moment, we're gonna darken that up later. I'm going around every area where the seashells and my normal skin meet. And I'm done filling in the little holes we created with the latex as well with red, so I can actually see them good. Then I'm taking blue to give it even more of a bruising color. And then taking the fluffy brush again with a little bit of brown eyeshadow in it and going over all the bruising colors we did, because like I said before, they look very bright, but if you go over it and blend it together with a little bit of brown product on your brush, you're gonna darken them up and it's gonna look more realistic. Then I'm taking a little bit of black eyeshadow on a very small brush and a fluffy brush to blend it to give the holes a little depth. And then I'm using red eyeshadow, but you can use any lipstick if you want to make it more long lasting, and I'm filling out the little wrinkles on my lips with a little red. And same red eyeshadow underneath my waterline to make my eyes look very tired, very sick. And a red eyeliner for the waterline, so there's no flesh tone peeking through. And then this is it. That's the finished look. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and for more creepy SFX makeups, check out my other videos.